There is no way that my husband or I could have ever met each other if it had not been for World War II. We lived on different coasts and neither one of us traveled too far away from home. In 1942, when school got out, I went out to Moffett Field looking for work. And at that time, they were just starting ship service store. And I was working there, making sundaes and milkshakes and banana splits and things of this sort. Long about this time, my husband walked into the creamery and sat down at the end of the bar. Time, although I don't remember, he said he came in to order 7 strawberry milkshakes for his friends, and he said I didn't make any of them alike. He sat down at the end of the counter and he was very, very quiet. But I took one look at him and that was it. I knew that I would marry that man. In July, barely a month later, he was sent to Camp Elliott. And when he left Moffett, I didn't know that I would never see him again for another 39 months. It wasn't until January of 1943 they went on a Lurline, luxury liner that was outfitted for troops. They were packed in there like sardines, and they went full steam ahead to New Zealand unescorted. He was a machine gunner. He was on a water-cooled machine gun in the islands, and I was told that after they opened up, their life expectancy was something like 90 seconds. The actual experiences he endured during his tour of duty can only be understood by another Marine who was there. When my husband left me, I wrote every day, sometimes twice, and on rare occasions I wrote 3 times. I figure I wrote easily over 1,200 letters in the 39 months it took for him to return. There was one period when he was overseas that I did not hear from him for over 90 days. And about the time I decided he must have been killed in action, the mails slowly start coming back in again. Joseph John Iwanski was a very good friend of ours. He was older than my husband. He was also from Yonkers, New York. Joe went on with my husband through the invasion of Guam, and during the invasion of Guam, he was killed. He did write me a V-mail letter, and he told me that the fellows were getting letters from their wives and their girlfriends telling them that they were getting tired of waiting. And he said that he also got a letter from his girlfriend, and she told him that she had a dream that he wasn't going to make it, so she wasn't going to bother to wait any longer. This happened about 10 months before he was killed. I told my husband when he left I would never send you a Dear John letter while you were gone. That's something he never got. When he was in Bougainville and wanted to send me a small gift, he went out on the beach with some other Marines and they gathered up these very unique small shells. And using string and bits of an old inner tube, they fastened these shells into a bracelet. He had no means of wrapping it to send it home, so he cut off his shirt tail, wrapped it in his shirt tail, and put some paper around it and mailed it home to me. These shells brought many tears, and so did the shirt tail. The war with Japan was over in August, and soon after that I did get a telegram from my husband telling me that he would be in San Francisco on the 23rd of October. As they approached the Golden Gate, the Marines stood on deck, straining for the first sight of home. As the Golden Gate came into view, my husband said he was ashamed that tears were flowing down his face. Taking a quick look back, he saw that all the Marines behind him were doing the same. When the ship was under the bridge, people above dropped flowers on him. The Von Holm Richard docked in Alameda, and the Marines were bussed to Treasure Island. There I met my husband after all these many months in a reunion that cannot be described. So home he went to New Jersey, 3,000 miles away, and I'd already been away from him long enough. But he sent me my engagement ring in the mail. So I left California for the first time in my life. I left my mother for the first time in my life and went back east to get married. He was discharged on the 8th of November, and we were married on the 23rd of December in 1945.